Hydra, Great Escape, Chapter 16. Warning, possible mild language, and adult themes, and dystopian awesomeness. The light was low. Baby Brian had just fallen asleep. The accordion door freshly closed. The Hagen family plus one, Jen Reed, was settling in. David snuggled with his wife and child. For a day that felt so hard-lived, these were the moments that he cherished. His child's skin was as smooth as silk, and his little noises were angelic. Melinda, despite her failing health becoming more obvious, was still beautiful to him. David saw her in a different way. From inside, for the person that she was, rather than the superficial shell most others saw at a glance. Her degrading appearance didn't sway or change that person. She stayed strong and reliable for Brian and for David. The only way to reciprocate that love was to keep it coming, and David lived up to that option. He felt it was an obligation, but one he enjoyed fulfilling. The dream state was coming when Joe opened the door and whispered, "Knock, knock." David came to. "What's up, Joe?" his brother struggled to say. "The GAD's here." David shot up. "What?" "I'm sorry, David." Joe looked away, and then back to his brother. "I see now that it's just Evans. His face is on the glass." David rose and dressed himself as quickly and quietly as possible in the dark. He stuck his head across the cube division to see for himself. Evans' face certainly was on the glass. "David," Evans asked, "are you awake? If so, please step outside. I'd like to talk to you. I'll give you 10 more minutes before I leave." His face vanished and the glass went black. The Hagen brothers looked at each other, neither wanting to voice their thoughts. They didn't have to. "I'll stay," was all that Joe had to say. "Okay," was David's answer as he snuck across his brother's half of the cube. He glanced at Jen and said, "Sorry," as he made for the door. "It's okay," Jen whispered. She wasn't annoyed, rather impressed that an enforcer was showing up and requesting David personally, even if it was kind of late. David stepped into the night air that smelled of soot and garbage. Nothing much worse than the air inside, just different. Evans approached from the center of the solar road. "I'm sorry it's late," Evans said. "I wanted to come earlier, but I couldn't. Busy night." "Yeah," David said. "What's going on?" He feared he already knew. "I've got something I have to lay on you." Evans' face twisted as he said this. David was beginning to lose feeling from the waist down, as if this were truly becoming a calm nightmare that he wished himself to wake up from. He stood nodding in return, having nothing to offer the man who had stepped out of his way on several occasions to help him, the same man who was now about to slay him down. He could tell Evans was fighting through the awkward displeasure of this meeting. It didn't make the news any easier to receive. "David, I don't know where to begin or how to get to the point, so I'm just going to say it. The cube the neighborhood your employer is building is not going to go." Evans shook his head and looked down at the road, then back to David. "You're not going to be living in the place that you're building." "I'm sorry, David." This is killing me, by the way." "Why?" David asked. "The reason why isn't something I have full knowledge of, or even the ability to speak of, certainly not the ability to change. It's killing me worse," David said. "And I have to go back there tomorrow knowing this? The least you could do is level with me. Why, Evans?" Evans shook his head again and said, "Because the world isn't fair. Because I don't call the shots. And because the domain has decided to use that space to house an overflow from one of the inner rings." "Are these people outcasts? Are they wealthy? Are they criminals? If they're criminals, they should go into the lock like they belong," David said, surprising himself with the statement. Then he dropped his head. "Is there anything we can do? We had an official agreement. I saw the documents." "The domain controls everything, David. They make decisions and documents either disappear or become meaningless. I consider you a friend, and I'm going to look as hard as I can for a better spot for your family. I promise you that. I also didn't want you to find out at the very last second, although I'm hoping I made the right choice on that one. You aren't going to do anything crazy, right?" David offered only silence. "Well, I hope you don't, David. This is all going to be okay." Evans took a step backwards. "I'm so very sorry, David. I had to tell you. Please don't hold it against me. We'll talk soon." His wings appeared, his jet fired up, and Evans was gone. David looked at his little home. He knew he should be happy that he had a home, that his family wasn't in one of those alleys, but he just couldn't find it. He was angry and brokenhearted. This place was a dump, a tiny dump. He went back inside after a long pause. When he got inside, there was more silence. Joe didn't have to ask. His brother's energy radiated to him, past the profound sadness through the dark atmosphere, and into the mind of the man who pretended to be falling asleep next to his new love. Not a word was said that night in the cube. Everyone stayed silent. Silent enough to hear David's gentle sobs through his dirty pillow. It's a short one tonight. Chapter 16, tough one to swallow, but there's much more to follow. Rings of Hydra, Great Escape. I'll see you on the next one. See you on the page.